Hello, my friend. I'm so glad you could join us for this special episode today. We are talking about all of these summer superhero blockbusters and watching how these superhero teams shine together as well as have shadows together. So, I am so thrilled to bring on in a few minutes my daughter Melody, who is our social media head, as well as one of my besties, and of course, my daughter. And I love that she still has her E&M hat on. Guys, I don't know how long that'll last. You know how family businesses are. It has been such a joy to work with her, and especially on our off peak moments of work to go to these movies that we have seen in our scalding hot summer here in Florida. I'm sure you've had a hot summer too. We know from our world travels, everywhere is hot right now. But I will be honest, especially hot because my sister was like, we went to the jazz festival in Detroit and it was 75 and she let it slip. And I was like, oh, really? It was 75? Because even when we went to Europe, it was 90. So it's fun to hear that some places might not be quite as hot. But the upside, which you know I'm going to find as a type 7, is that in the hot weather, we get to do things that are indoors in the AC. So I love to tell you about those movies with Melody today. But before she comes on, I am going to add one more instincts, really quick conversation about yet another movie that we don't talk about together. And we reference it. We said, we're going to see this one without Wes because he didn't want to see this one as much as us. We got to see it after her and I recorded. It's the new Jurassic Park movie. And guys, oh my gosh, even though we recorded all the rest, this was my favorite one of all. So I just know that if you're in that space of like, okay, we're almost there to fall, I want one more summer movie, or I'm just wherever I'm at in life, I need a good movie time. If you like super intense movies, which I usually do, this is it. And from the instincts basis, I am not going to give everything away, but I am going to tell you that if you are ever in that space like me of loving seeing the self pres, sexual, and social instincts at play, what a field for you to do this with. It's just gold. So, the briefness I will give you on this is to look out for when you see this movie, or maybe you're like, Krista, 100%, I saw it, I get it, is I think you can probably extrapolate to every Jurassic movie, but the self pres instinct always comes out, first of all, with the dinosaurs, but second of all, usually with people trying to do some miracle cure and forgetting that there are patents that they will leave a lot of other people out of, but they want to earn for money their own. You see the self pres instinct come into play with people running away in certain vehicles by themselves. I don't think that's a giveaway because every one of the Jurassic Park movies has something like that, and or Jurassic World, etc. And we also have just other examples of the self-pres instinct in good ways, where families were pulling together, and it was so beautiful to see that of just, hey, we all want to survive. And honestly, I'm going to be sharing my audio diary from London and all the trip we took to Europe. But one of the moments we had, which was of course, all of them were so epic, but like one of them that was scary was all of us on the subway. And somebody said, like, we were like actually being chased. And somebody was like, well, there's 5 of you. And we were like, yes. And we all 5 want to survive. So that is how the self-pres instinct works for the whole family. Now, the sexual instinct I saw through Jurassic lenses this time was sometimes we think that sexual instinct is just about merging, just about me and my partner. And we certainly see it in Jurassic World this time, this new movie. But what we do also see, and again, not a huge spoiler, but just we also get to see this instinct played out where this is the instinct that's like kill or be killed. And sometimes you forget that if a person has this instinct, they're very romantic, they're very much about like just small group or just the one to one, not the whole group, not the self pres, not about myself. It's like that partner means everything to them. And so what I loved is I saw somebody who was high on that instinct and they ran for helping their partner. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's that instinct at play in the most beautiful high way versus the low way. And then last but not least, I think we all know that in the Jurassic spaces, the social instinct is probably the last one you see sometimes because people are, like I said, greedy. Myself, my partner, my family, not everybody. And there's even a moment in this movie where you see somebody who has no biological basis, no romantic basis, and even something huge to lose themselves, and they sacrifice for that social instinct. And I think that person honestly is the hero of the movie. And don't make me cry. It was a good movie, but thinking back on it makes me think of that and just how that social instinct is just, whew, you just want to have a good one of those. So this gives us something to track with in the space of instincts. And now Melody and I are just going to go through a quick breeze through of several of the movies and show you from the fun actual show, Cobra Kai, to the new Superman movie that's out, as well as the new Fantastic Four movie that's out. Just a little bit about the way types can work together independently, how we can shine a little brighter together, maybe where some of our shadows show up. And again, just a quick episode. So grab your summer lemonade, your tea, your chai like me, and allow yourself just a fun moment to chill, right? I hope you are chilling because it is hot. And I hope you have a wonderful time sitting with us as we process all of these shows together. Thanks, guys. Hi, guys. I'm so happy to have you for this episode of the Enneagram and Marriage Pod. I have been waiting all summer long to do this fun episode, pure fun, midweek joy with Melody. We know she is the queen of staying close to cultural trends, our social media manager. You guys have watched her grow up here at Enneagram and Marriage. She continues to hold the title for the most popular episode of all time here. And I just got done hearing her sing most beautifully on Worship Team. It is well her solo. Rocked it. So glad she's here with us. So honored. And today she is talking with me about how superhero teams prove the Enneagram glow effect. In this superhero summer, we are analyzing Fantastic Four, Cobra Kai, and Superman and how they show us the glow. And she is also making sure to give us a few updates. So welcome, Melody. Thanks so much for joining us.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here. That was so sweet. Really excited to analyze all of our fave little series. I know Cobra Kai is not like necessarily superheroes, but it's that same vibe of like stopping kind of crime, working as a team, fighting. And we just saw Superman and Fantastic Four, so we're fresh off of those and excited to type them and share. We've been good here. I've been having a blast working with the E&M team for social media. I've been doing reels, fun Fridays, some fun ones. But we also wanted people to get serious, so please let us know if you have any suggestions on upcoming posts or reels you would like to see. And you can email me at melody@enneagrammarriage.com. Melody@enneagrammarriage.com for any concerns, cares, or requests, because we really do want to hear your feedback for our posts, especially reels. So
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mel. I love how you have been bringing in the younger generation to some of our trends, but we old school girlies need our place too, and our older guys. So we're so happy that you are asking for the deep topics today. Somebody said tri type, and we are listening. So please keep sharing. And we know I'm working on writing a book. So Mel will be on top of that as soon as next year comes as well to get us started on launch teams again. Cannot
yes,
wait.
book launch, all of that. So excited.
I love how we are 7 and 9 energy here, don't you?
You're like, like so excited. Yeah.
Yes, it's beautiful because we have 7 and 9 listeners and a bunch of others too. So it matches. And guys,
I
I
am
crashed
so
here.
excited though, but I just
Yes,
have the sleepy night energy of 6 a.m. wake up. So
she does. Absolutely. I was like, I am here for it all. Anytime you want your early morning, I am your
let's
girl.
be real. It was like 6:45. Let's be real.
That's true. Let's be real. So now we are here mid afternoon and we are so ready to take you on this journey with us, whatever your type. And really want to emphasize thank you again for listener requested episode, actually, but also to give a little wrinkle for the future. You know, I'm a future thinker, is that we are going to take you on the journey of one of our other favorite shows. As that one starts to launch, we decided to postpone a bit because it's not launching till November. I will give you a drum roll. Do you want to name what that show is?
Stranger Things.
Yes. So excited.
So hyped. It's gonna be
Yes.
so good.
Yeah, so we can't wait to do more of that as we talk about the way these characters glow. We're going to talk about a couple of them briefly and then get a little more into Cobra Kai because we really fell in love with that series as a family. And many of you know if you find something that everybody can tolerate, it is great. If you all like it, even better. So that happened with us. And then we all have our own things that like only we like too. But first, Fantastic Four. Let's talk about that show. Did you find that Marvel is coming back now that they brought out this new Fantastic Four movie? Everyone was saying they were going downhill with their last few Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man, and all the rest.
Yeah, I think that Marvel is so back. Marvel is here to stay. It was so good.
Oh,
I personally liked it a lot better than Superman, and I
interesting.
just thought it was like such a fun like family movie. Like it was just like such a like heartwarming like feel good vibe. And it was like action and adventure, but like it wasn't like one of those conclusions where you're like, oh my gosh, like that all led up to like something that was like a little anticlimactic or it was like a depressing ending. Like it was just like a happy ending and like they left us on a cliffhanger and like it was just such a fun like summer movie. Like I was literally giddy in the theater. Like it was so fun. So I did type these characters, and I know you had some ideas too. So I thought we could like compare and contrast then. Do you want to start?
Sure. I feel like I only have a good sense of two of them, so I'm very curious about the other two.
Okay.
I thought that Pedro Pascal's character was very clearly an eight, and I don't know if that's him as a
Oh,
person.
that's
I
a hot topic.
Okay, yeah. Yes. Okay, so it sounds like you may disagree, but I thought that he was just so direct and clarified, and everyone kept coming to him. For those of you who don't remember exactly who his character was, can you explain who he played?
Yes, he played like Reed Richards, and he's like Mr. Fantastic. So he's like the stretchy like kind of leader of the group as far as like science and like equations and solving all of the different problems goes. So him and like Sue Storm are like a couple and they have a baby in this one. That's why it's called like the first steps. So they're a really cute couple and I could see eight, but I don't know. That's like a hot topic. Like I need to think about that. Like now that I think about it, like I could see that with like how direct he was and like how he wasn't necessarily challenging others, but he wouldn't stand for others like trying to change what he was doing.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I imagine you might have been thinking a different type that we think of for science. Were you? What type did you think?
I was thinking one or five.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
Because
that
he's
makes
very
sense.
like right or wrong. Like he was like, this is what's right to do, even if it's not what's fair, or like not fair, even if it's not what's like easy or comfortable, this is like the right thing to do. But he was also like just so much in his like investigating and research where like he couldn't stop. Like he was just like once he hyper fixated on like a problem that he needed to solve, like he was like completely at it. If
Yes.
not,
Yes, I love that. And that is his five. So whether he's an eight going to five or a one, just digging into that doing space, I love that we're thinking of these clarified types that can get very logical. Of course, I added on some passion with the eight. And that is why you said a great topic of discussion because we don't see as much of a wild passion eight with him. But as far as driving ahead, this is our clear leader. Everyone kept saying, at least in this movie, what do we do? What do we do? And even while his wife's trying to spoiler deliver a baby, he was barking out orders like, here's what we do, here's what we're doing next. And I was like,
a
wow, it
really good
takes,
perspective.
yeah, it was just like, it takes a body type to be that clear with
You're
like,
kind of, yeah, convincing me on that. Like,
oh
he's definitely giving eight energy. I can
my
totally see that. Maybe he's like self-pres.
yes, that's a really good point. Yep. Very, very good point, guys. These instincts matter. Now,
Yes.
what about Sue Storm, the invisible woman? What do you think her character leads toward as far as Enneagram type?
I said six for her. I thought that she very much gave off this like loyal energy to the group. Like she
Mhm.
was so dedicated and like you could tell she wasn't really gonna like fold in any circumstance. Like she was definitely like a rock of the group. But she also had like six wit at times and like the ability to like let loose a little more. And then I think that she really just was focused on security a lot of the time too, with like she asked like a lot of questions, but also was willing to like look for the answers and um prioritize that and her family safety as a whole.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I did not have that as my type. I was a little fuzzier on her, but I was going with type one for her. And
Oh,
I can see why you landed on six. Sometimes those two types are mistyped. And
yeah.
I just saw her she looked one-ish. Sometimes you can
Yeah, she
see a look
did.
of a
Yeah.
person, and she just looked so clarified as a person and almost
I could see
perfect.
one a lot too. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was like, I can see the one, but now that you say that, loyalist, it was so big and even bigger than the what is right, because she was like, I'll do whatever it takes, even if it's like I'm not going to go for the greater good. I'm going to go for my people. I
Yeah.
don't want to spoil it farther than that, but it was a clear, 1-6 distinction. So I think you landed well. And then we have a couple of auxiliary characters here. We can just super base. I'll let you take those, touch on before we talk about the way they glow together as a team. What would you say about the last two? Like I said, no arguments coming from me for Johnny and Ben.
I said that Johnny was a three. I mean, a seven, but I could also see on a three. I wasn't really able to pick, but he's like in between those two for me. I could see the achiever with how once he set his mind to do something, he was going to do it. He was showing off a bit with his powers. He was
True.
really dedicated to his craft. He was like having fun, like you could tell with what he does. But then I was also saying seven with like the not wanting to be trapped kind of atmosphere. He would go to a six with being loyal to like very like just like
Mm.
fun, like sunshine energy. Like
Oh,
so
yes.
I saw both types a lot for him.
Beautiful.
And then for Ben, I was thinking nine because he was just so like peaceful and like
Mm.
very much like a rock of the group. Oh shoot, that was a cheesy pun. But his dad was saying
Yes,
that
it
earlier in
was.
the
It's
day. He
okay.
was like, "You're such a rock to me," and I must have thought of it.
Oh,
He was
yes.
talking about that character too. But
Yeah.
he was such like a just like a central point to the friendships. Like I really felt like he had a special bond with each person.
Hmm.
And he was just such a calming presence, like even in the times of stress, like he wasn't complaining, like he was just like there for the ride. Not that I don't complain as a guide, but
Yeah.
he was along for the ride and he was like very willing. So that's
Hmm.
my take.
Yeah. And maybe that's some growth for the nines who are complainers. Um, just teasing.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Well, you gave Johnny no type 7 credits, so let's move
I
on.
just
I'm just joking. I'm just
said
joking. Okay, so we've already established Fantastic Four was phenomenal. We highly recommend it. Some of you are like, we watch our movies at home. Okay, fine, no problem. When it comes out, watch it from home. I didn't feel it had to be on the big screen, but we are a family who loves going to the movies. Like that, again, we found something that everybody likes, and that is not easy. So we do movies well together.
Yeah,
Although I don't think your dad wants to see Jurassic with us as much, so we can see that one without him.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, that's why we didn't include this. We haven't had a chance to see that yet. Now, Superman, we enjoyed. It was Dad's
Yeah.
birthday, so I was giving my extra like I want to like this so that he has a good birthday memory. But I also liked it. How did you feel about the new Superman? I know it had to live up to some other Superman men of the past.
Yeah, I mean, considering how much we love Smallville, like it was a bit of a letdown, but I mean, it was still good. Like the cinematography was amazing and the music was really good. I liked the color in it, but like it just got so weird and like it just felt like they were doing way too much with like these different dimensions and like these random side characters that were like leads. And then like as we mentioned, like the dog like
Mm-hmm.
such a lead character
Yeah.
that like literally Superman kept being beat up and not being able to save himself at all. And like the dog kept saving him like 8 times. We were like, okay, that's cute, but like, can he even do anything? And the movie opens up with him getting beat up, and then it's like throughout the whole movie, just him getting beat up. And like literally not able to stand. And you're like, this is literally Superman. Like, what the heck? So that was kind of annoying, but
You
it was
know,
a good watch. I just probably wouldn't watch it that many other times.
yeah. So basically, the glow of this, if you're looking for like how did characters work together, notice she didn't say Lois. It was basically Superman and the dog,
Yeah.
Krypton, glowing together, finding their way to fight crime together.
Lois and him were not a good pair. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
they were not compatible. Like, she was yelling at him the whole time, like, trying to push all his buttons, like, asking him questions that were totally loaded and unfair.
Yeah.
And then he was just, like, totally traditional, like, I don't want to talk about this. Like, you're not being fair. Like, they were just a horrible match. I think in general, I'm not the biggest like Lois and Clark fan, but in this one, it was like rough. Like I could barely sit through those fights. Like, and then they never made up. Literally, he just told her he loved her, and they kissed, and then she was like, "I was gonna break up with him," and then he just saved her, and that was it. Like they were happily ever after. It was so
Mm,
weird.
that is so weird. You remind me of how I just heard Hannah and I just heard Reese Witherspoon. Stacy sent us a message of her talking about how a lot of the movies are like that, where the guy just saves the girl and she's like, what are we going to do? She has no idea. And she's like, have you
Yeah.
ever seen a woman do that in crisis? It's like, no, we get moving. So feeling you there, girl. Also, your peacemaker. I can see how it was activated. Even I was a little activated too. And I'm used to fighting couples like every single day. So interesting. And I did like how she wore greens and browns and he wore the basic colors. And I could see their glow of like different hues in that way. But I really noticed with you, I kind of had him and her typed differently with Enneagram types. Did you have types for them?
Yeah.
What did you do for them?
We actually said Superman was a one, at
Mm-hmm.
least in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Because we couldn't pick between 2 and 9 and 1, and then we were like, oh, well, the one has both in it,
Okay.
with each wing.
Mm,
So I would say maybe like a social one or a
mm,
sexual one.
mm-hmm.
But he was very focused on what was right and wrong. Like that was like very much doing good was his goal, especially in this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like all he was really focused on. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. I look up and it's like the giant Superman poster that Jack drew me when he was a little kid. And
Oh,
that's what's right in front of me as it was talking. That was
oh
so
my
cute.
gosh, that's so cute. I
But
love that.
he is my fave. But yeah, I really liked the Superman in this one. Like I thought he was nice and like lighthearted and like he was humble, but I was like, you are too humble. Like you're letting yourself get beat up all this time and like
Oh.
get saved. And I was like, I was a little weirded out by that. But
Oh, I get
yeah, I
that.
said one for him. And
Mm,
then I said eight for Lois because she was very opinionated and challenging, like literally actively challenging him.
yeah.
But she also had that like type eight fierce love and like she
Mm-hmm.
wanted control, but like she was also willing to like listen to others. And then I said type nine for Jimmy Olsen
Hmm.
because he was just like down for whatever. He was pretty chill and he was like the comedic relief. He was like just very like chill. I couldn't decide between 9 and 7, but he wasn't as hyper as like they usually stereotype 7 like sidekicks, I feel like. And
Mm-hmm.
there's so much more depth to a 7.
Mm,
And I think maybe he would be more of that like deep 7 that's like not stereotyped in films
mm,
or like a 9.
mm,
Um, and then Lex, I said self-pres 3 because he was that like achieving was his goal of like I just need to achieve this, I need to get this, I need to get this. And then it was like that obviously unhealthy 3, but it was that was what was driving him and
mhm,
what others were viewing him as. And that like kind of social climbing was what really got him
mm.
in.
Wow, that is fantastic and so interesting. I bet you our listeners, some of their feelings were the same and you're making them have more expansive thinking. I know I am. And I love others' opinions too. So feel free to share yours with us as well. I also had Clark typed as a one. I did not do subtype. So I'm very impressed. And guys, she has been Enneagram and Marriage certified for some time now and it shows, it glows. And then
Sweet.
I seriously, and then I had typed Lois as a counterphobic six, which is always
I
confused
could
with
see
eight.
that too.
So
Yeah.
neither here nor there almost. And then I had typed Lex as in his four. And when I say in his four, I meant like an unhealthy four space. So it could have been, like you said, three in the
Yeah,
four
we were
space.
considering for when picking him. I talked to Hannah and Jack about this too.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so that makes sense. There was a moment when at the end you see him again, quick spoiler, but nothing too big, just weeping. And I was like, I wasn't connecting with the character as much as I do in, like you said, Smallville and some of the other series we've watched. But I really connected with the fact this time that he was at least very envious and sorrowful at the end. I got to see the richer, deeper emotions. And that's what I
Yeah.
like, oh, I
The
see that
ending.
for.
What was my like gut reaction to it when I was typing?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So we both had him as a heart type either way. Somebody who's just,
Yeah.
yeah, they need to be loved and cared for deeply. And he's
Yeah.
always in the shadow of this body type with all of their justice fighting energy. So that was great. Now, we kind of talked about their glow and that we didn't really feel like there was much of a glow. We felt the shadows of everybody, interestingly, which is, I think, why we didn't like that movie as much. Before we hit our main topic of Cobra Kai, did you think there was a group glow in the Fantastic Four that they actually knew their roles and did a better job of meshing?
Yes, I very much saw that unity in that group. Like everyone got along in like a duo with everyone and as a group. And I thought
Mm,
that like really showed is like they were able to each have scenes together and like it worked. And then they were able to come together as a group and like still have it work.
mm,
And I just felt they really like played on each other's strengths really well. And like I thought it was a great balance of like drama and action and like comedy and like lightheartedness and like romance. Like I think they did a really good job balancing it all.
beautiful. I did too. And I thought that when somebody knew that eight had Pedro Pascal had this big, beautiful leadership energy, everybody let him lead. But if somebody had a message, they rose up to meet him
Yeah, they
because
did.
eights need to be met with. And they were not afraid to just say, look, listen to me right now. This is happening. And like, I know you have a big plan for us, but I need to meet you here right now and let's do this. And guys, that's something for you to learn too is when you
Yeah.
have somebody in your family with big energy, you have to use some energy to meet them. If you do, they will appreciate you and respect because that means you're caring too, you're passionate too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. That's good.
Yes, but just oh gosh, we could get on all day about like meeting masculine energy with masculine energy. It's almost like you have to find your artistic way to do this. I've explained to my clients last week like how I meet Wes when he's in his masculine energy. Sometimes I'm come in with some fun in order to soften the fact that I'm actually challenging him. So you'll have to find your own way or come to me for coaching or one of my team. Okay, now let's move on to the sense for looking at the Cobra Kai. This was, like I said, our show that we really watched multiple episodes. Highly recommend. We're a Karate Kid family, have been since I was a kid. Melody had grown up on them as well, right, Mel?
Yes, we did.
And then my sister and my brother both had loved the show and said, you have to watch. And they have school age children too. So, highly recommend to you whether you have kids or not. I know our worship pastor was telling you he loves it too. He has
Yeah.
littles. So, it's time for us to talk about just can you give us a super quick synopsis of the show in case people are remembering maybe Danny LaRusso from the first Karate Kid, but don't know much more about the series?
It's about yeah, Daniel when he's grown up, he owns a car, auto, what's it called?
It's like an auto lot or used
Yeah,
cars, new
yeah.
cars. Yeah.
He sells cars and he's very rich and successful. And then there's Johnny Lawrence who got beat by him in the All Valley back in like the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And so Johnny's like never recovered. Like he was just left for like dead by crease and
Mm.
everything.
Yeah, his bad
So
sensei.
he's bad off and he has a son named Robbie who he's not close with. And then Daniel has a daughter, Sam, who's trouble. And
That's
then
not the common consensus, but Melody and I think she's
we
trouble.
are not Sam obsessed in this family, but uh, Johnny's neighbors with this boy Miguel, and he sees Johnny fight up these guys who are bullying him, and he asks him to teach him karate. So you go throughout the show with Johnny starting with just teaching Miguel, and then growing into a whole studio with his friends Hawk and Dimitri. You see that whole plot of Hawk going from like nerd to like bad, like good. It's like a lot there.
There's a lot there.
Um,
Yep. Up the
yeah,
Enneagram
and
ladder of
there's
health. Yeah.
I know, yeah, and then there's Tori comes in. She's like this bad girl that
Peyton
like
list.
ends up having a soft spot. Yeah.
Mm.
Miguel is like has I don't want to spoil it, but it's been out for like a long time.
It's okay. Yeah.
So I don't know. Miguel breaks his back and then like has to grow and heal and then get back into karate. There's like tons of tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
Robbie and his dad connect, and then he turns bad, and then he's like good. Like there's all this stuff. He's at juvie, like it's crazy.
Yeah.
And then the biggest thing is Kreese,
Mhm.
the like old sensei from Karate Kid, is like back, and it's so scary. And
Mhm.
then Terry Silver from Karate Kid 3 is back, and he is even scarier.
Gosh, I
He's
know.
literally terrifying.
Yes.
So
I
those
mean,
two are challenging each other, and it's
right.
crazy.
Yes. And I
But
even had a
yeah,
bad dream about Crease that I had to fight him.
yes, you
And then I thought I
did.
saw someone who was like silver in the elevator, and that was so scary. So, like,
He
warning,
is
you
so
can have
scary.
counter transference and transference about these people.
Do you want me to kind of speed run mine since I picked so many of the characters?
Yes, that'd be
And we can
perfect. And then we
talk
can talk
through.
about the
Okay.
glow. Yeah. Because people are just like
So
maybe hanging with us, but they don't know the characters.
I
So
can give
we'll
like
go
a
through
few
them.
sentences, but
Okay,
I'll just
perfect.
speed run it. So
Perfect.
I said Daniel was a 3 because I just think he's very much like a go-getter. He's made a successful business.
Mhm.
He's achieving things. He does care about, excuse me, what the public views him as. I said Johnny was an 8 because he's very much like all business, but also like he's wants to have fun. He wants to do things his own way,
Mhm.
but it has to be like according to his standards, and he will push you to your limits.
Mhm.
I said Sam was a type 2 because she definitely has that like two like compassion and care,
Yeah.
but just I would say a toxic type 2 because the way she goes about things is not good. Like she's just been burning a lot of bridges in this show.
She goes into
Um,
her 8 space a lot in the
yeah, she
bad way.
does. Miguel is a 2 or 9, I said, because he's literally such a sweetheart and he just like really is so loving and like puts
Mhm.
others first and
Yeah.
just like, really cares.
Yeah.
He's so sweet, he's the best. Robbie, I put 1 with 3 question marks because I was very confused about Robbie. I could not type him.
Mm.
We were even considering 4. I don't know.
Mhm.
I just said 1 because he's very much like a little judgmental towards others, I would say, if they're not going along a path that he deems suitable.
Mm.
But he's also very like virtuous and he cares about doing what's right. I just think that he's like a little misguided.
Mm.
Um,
Mhm.
Tori, I said was an 8. That one's very obvious. She starts in her unhealthy 8 of full vengeance, and then she goes to her health of like actually being like loving and sacrificial and like growing. And then I said Hawk was a 3 because he shifts a lot, obviously. He starts as a nerd and then he's like bad and then he's like good. So I think
Mhm.
he really cares what others think, and that was always his goal. And he had to learn to like find himself and not just like be himself for others.
Mm.
And then Dimitri, we said counterphobic 6 because he's
Very
literally
well.
so
Mhm.
obviously counterphobic 6. Like
Yep.
he's just
Absolutely nothing else to
there's no explanation needed. We said Aisha was a 6 or 8. She's only in like the first 2 or 3 seasons, but she was very much like kind of like cutthroat in that way and like just very much herself, not willing to change really. Amanda, we said an 8-wing 9 or 9-wing 8, and I'm really
Mhm.
starting to lean toward the 9-wing
Me
8.
too. I was
She's very
100%.
much like comforts, wide
Mhm.
mom, I'm not gonna lie.
Mommy
But
juice.
yeah, she knew what she wanted and she went after it. Um, Chosen, we said was a 4 or a 6.
Oh,
We
yeah.
were starting to think 4 a lot, me and Hannah were, because
Wow. Sexual 4.
he was very emotional
Very
and like
obsessive
he
about
lets
his
that
girl.
envy and stuff drive him.
Mm-hmm.
Crease we said was an 8 because
Mm.
that one's pretty self-explanatory. He's the
Yes. And we
ultimate
do
challenger.
get some backstory on him that gives
We
us some
do.
warmth.
And he's
Yes.
a loyal 8 and he's a loving 8 in the beginning, but then he just
Yes.
gets hardened by like the
Yes.
world and the war.
Yes.
And then my last one was Silver, and he we said was a sexual 4
Okay.
or a sexual 1, but I low-key see the sexual 4 with like his opera music and like piano
Oh
playing.
my gosh, I'm
And then
scared
like his
immediately.
hair, like it's just like it's giving type 4 uniqueness of like, oh, like I and then he's like even when he fights, like it's just like such a play of like this
Oh my
drama.
gosh. And he's a prolific person in real life as well. I looked him up a couple of times and I was like, oh my gosh. So you've given us a beautiful rundown. And there's even more, even Anthony, Daniel's son, comes in later. Like, this
Yeah,
is
and
a show
Kenny,
you
there's like
have
so many
to watch.
characters.
Kenny,
Big
right?
Maggie.
Oh
They're
my
so
gosh.
good.
It is so good. I want to watch the whole thing again, but honestly,
I
it
do too,
was,
and no one else does. They keep
I
saying
will
this
have to try.
too. No one gets this that as a type 9. For some reason, I don't like rewatching movies very recently. But
Hmm.
shows, like I literally will just restart it right after I finish it and continue like that for the rest of my life.
I
That's
love how
literally
you
what I do
guys
with
do
Gilmore
that.
Girls. Like I'm always
Yeah.
redoing it at all times.
Yeah,
Like
you helped me to go back and catch the things I missed, honestly, because I miss half the things as a seven. So I love that about you. And
she
also
always
you.
read spoilers at the end of every
Yeah.
night. She'd be like, "Good night, guys. I just found out what happens in the next three, and you're gonna love it." And we'd be like, "What?" She'd be like, "It's crazy." Like she was always giving like
But
hints at these spoilers.
in fairness, no one ever lets me tell, sadly. But I know people are listening. Like, why would you ever tell? But because this is like the other side of me you don't get to see on this podcast because I'm always doing serious topics. But often I will sleep at the end of the night because like I love to like almost steal time, which you can't do. But I'm like early morning, love my late nights. So sometimes I'll read ahead and be like, I'm good on this one. I like fall asleep on the
She
beanbag,
does.
still
And
on
then
that
she's like,
beanbag
"Oh, I
sometimes.
read it ahead. Like, there's no point in me watching this. Like, it's so funny."
So I just love that show though. That's probably why I'm also like, let's watch again. But really, really agreeing with you on most of the types. The only ones, it's not any disagreements. It's kind of adding in that I think Daniel has a very strong one. And then when I looked it up
Yeah,
just
yeah.
now, it said one for him. But I also was like, oh, I always thought he was a three. And I only later started to see he's so into that he's right. Everything is I'm right, I'm right, I'm
I
right.
think he might like turn
And
into a one as it goes
yeah,
on.
and
Yeah.
goodness. And a lot of people like him as their favorite
Yeah.
character. Like our friend said, he's a traditionalist. He loves Daniel
He is
as a
very,
one.
yeah.
So one, three, a lot of achievement gifts. But then we also have the you mentioned that you thought Johnny was an eight, and I would say eight going back and forth to his five because sometimes I see him introverting and going into that space of like just saving energy at the beginning and then yet there's still that eight part of him so I couldn't tell was he an eight or a five? Honestly, there's even some two. It's like he is just, I
Yeah,
think it's
there's
an
some
eight
too.
because there's this helper in him. And early on in the show, guys, a spoiler, but such a
Could
good
be
one.
825 tri-type.
Yeah, I think he is. And so I love that we brought Tri-Type in. I think that you're going to see that he is soft right from the beginning, like not just like this mean hard eight. Because remember in the earlier series, you see in Karate Kid 1 that he's like, we just watched that. So I'm fresh on it, but he's like, Daniel, you're okay. Like, even though Kreese was mean and was literally beating up his student, which was so sad, Johnny was like, I see the good of Daniel. So I did see that beautiful part of his heart, didn't you?
Yes, I really did.
Oh my
Me
gosh.
too.
Okay. So sorry.
No, I just said it's precious.
Yes. Okay. So what is the glow of these people? Do you think that there's a lot of teamship? Do you think they're getting along? Do you think this is like a big family fight? Because we see them always connecting. So how do you see it playing out?
I I saw a lot of division in the first couple seasons with like Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai, obviously. And then even like when they Cobra Kai like kind of turns into Miyagi-Do and like Hawk joins them and like they're kind of good now, it's still divided because there's like that studio divide.
Hmm.
But I think by like the sixth season, you really see unity and like as far as the kids go, like their personalities are clicking more and they're like supporting each other more. As far as the dynamics between like Daniel and Johnny and stuff go, I think that they really didn't have resolution till like that last season. Like they really
Mm-hmm.
found that resolution and connection, and I was really impressed with that. So I would say they had a glow as a whole team, but it just took a while to get there.
Yeah, I would agree with you. And I think that when you're watching this show in particular, notice how you see the shadows of like if the leaders, like in terms of like almost you can extrapolate to marriage, like it kept being obvious. If the leaders are not getting together, the team is scattered
Yeah,
everywhere. They
yeah.
don't know what to do. There's all these alliances, dark alliances forming, shadow alliances forming. But when Johnny and Daniel can take time to work out their issues, everything flows.
Yeah, I
So
totally agree.
oh my gosh. So you have to watch this, you guys. And thank you, Melody, so much for joining today. It has been such a blast. I bet we could talk about
Thank
it
you. This
all
was so
day.
fun. Yes, we totally could.
So, guys, tell us if you want more shows like this. We will be doing a Stranger Things as we get closer to the
Yes,
fall,
we
right?
will. Yes, they
Oh,
just announced they're done editing the first two episodes, so
gosh.
those two are all set.
Okay. Yay. Okay. Well, we'll see you guys soon. Thank you,
Hi, thank you
Melody.
for having me.
Bye bye. Oh my gosh, it was so fun to have you for this joyful conversation. I hope you had no offense about me saying Melody had nine energy. We were joking about it last night after recording a couple days later. We were just like, oh my gosh, like we saw it on another show we were watching together. I was like, there's nine energy versus seven. And I was literally seeing somebody be like an annoying seven space. So I want you to know I'm tracking myself too. And I was like, it's a compliment to you, Melody. We all have our gifts. And she was like, I was tired that morning. And so we were laughing. So I hope you know our jesting is in good fun. We're the best of friends. And we really love having you here too. So tell us if you are looking forward to our Stranger Things episode. Tell us what you typed people as. Gosh, we went through a lot today. I would love to hear your thoughts. This was just a fun summer moment together. So thanks for sharing it and have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.